So, it's one of those moments where I get to show. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a comment or two like, "Oh man, I'm based as hell. I'm based AF," as the kids say these days. Um, so most people would think that I was on the right, like hardcore on the right. No, not at all. I mean, I agree more with the right, or rather, like when it comes to certain lifestyles, I just say keep it away from kids. Let kids be kids. So in something like marriage, and here's where I love not being restricted, because you'll have the side, the left, like, oh well, that's not very Christian-like of you, or you'll have the right, like, well, if you follow Christian ideals, then you shouldn't be. Well, I'm not Christian. I'm not Christian. I don't have a religion because I think religions are crap. Now, I'm not going to sit there and tell you, oh, there's no God. You need to believe that there's no. No. You believe what you believe, and that's fine. And I just expect the same respect in return. It's like with my dad trying to convert me, like, you need to find Jesus. And it's like, no, I'm not sitting here trying to convince you there's no God. Have enough respect for me to just accept that fact and not, just show me the same respect that I'm showing your religion. People think that people who don't believe in God, they're just like going around like, well, here's why there's no God. No, I just say that I don't think there's a God. Most of the time, I never even really get into it. I just say I don't believe there's a God. But I do say that I do believe that there was a Jesus. Do I believe Jesus was real? Yeah, totally believe he was a real guy. Was he the son of God? Of course not for me, because I don't believe in God. Um, but you know, but people are like, oh well, that's not very Christian-like of me. Well, I'm not Christian. I'm not Christian. So I have conservative views and I have liberal views. Marriage is what brings us together today. Um, Now Christians would say marriage is between a man and a woman. For me, I don't care. I believe marriage should be between two people. Man, woman, man, man, woman, woman. As long as they're consenting adults, um, then it's whatever. I was the best man at my brother's gay wedding. You know, I mean, we knew from a young age that this kid was gay. I mean, it went far beyond like a like 3, 4 year old trying his mom's high heels on. No, he's like 12, 13. His favorite movies were Miss Congeniality and Coyote Ugly. He'd wrap himself in his towel pretending it was a dress. So went a little beyond just a boy being curious about his mom's high heels. Um, but there I was. I was a good big brother when him and his boyfriend were getting a new place, an apartment. They needed a $500 pet deposit. Who do you think gave it to him? I mean, I remember my brother coming to me and asking and like being worried that they wouldn't be able to get their dog into the apartment, thinking that I was gonna say no or something. And I was like, no, sure. He's like, oh, well, thank you, and I'll be sure to pay you back. And he did. He paid me back. For a while when we already knew he was gay. Like we already freaking knew he was gay, but he was like blocking everyone on Facebook and stuff. And my mom was like, "Oh yeah, he blocked everyone because he didn't know how everyone would react." And we're like, "He knows that we know already, right?" She's like, "I know. I told him that. I told him that." He eventually unblocked everyone, but like, wow, sounds like you have a good relationship with your brother. Nope, not anymore. I don't. He thought I was a typical Trump supporter, so he's like, I hope you can understand why I can't associate with you. So, the guy who was the best man at his gay wedding, typical Trump supporter, Trump supporters who are supposed to be homophobic and this, not to mention he was marrying a Mexican. So that should be even double more reason not to participate. No, I was there for him and his husband, but I was just a typical Trump supporter. So he's like, I hope you understand why I can't associate with you. But anyway, enough of my tragic backstory that led me to become the ultimate villain of the universe. Um, this is going to be talking about the movie itself, just more of the how they're trying to push this. Um, the Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim, which again I'm not going to talk about the movie itself because I've already pretty much said what I need to. Um, Beyond woke with Hollywood death cult and LGBTQ messaging reaching new lows. So this likes to refer complete subversive mess on analysis with the plotline pushing evil LGBTQ lifestyles while shunning traditional marriage. Clearly, this was written by a Christian. Um, and I always thought that how it's like, oh, we're supposed to be a religion of peace, and you know, everyone is created in God's image, and yet they have such disdain and hate and hatefulness towards gay community or just that community in general. Now, are there evil people in that community? Of course. Every group of people have got unsavory, undesirables. I know a lot of people who watch me. They've told me a long time ago that, I'm bi, I'm gay, I'm trans, I'm this, I'm that. Obviously, not every member of the community is like evil. You know? The trans community, not all of them are weirdos trying to go into girls' bathrooms. Most people who are normal functioning adults will say, you know what? While yes, I do identify as a woman, I still have a penis. So I am going to use the bathroom of the gender that I was assigned at birth because I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, especially any little girls who might be in there. But no, you have these guys walking in who look like me, claiming to be women, and they're like recording themselves in there, like, I'm in the bathroom and no one's getting hurt. You know? So there are evil people. There are people of the community who use the community as kind of like a shield, where there are people over the last several years who will say they identify as something certain because they see the attention that it gets them. Now, while not evil, um, they are doing it for the wrong reasons, identifying as something simply because they want the attention or the immunity that the community has. But for me, life's traditional marriage again should be man, woman, 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 man, man, as long as it's two consenting adults. Hopefully they love each other. Like in the past, back in the old days, people were getting married for financial reasons, or oh, we have a child, we have to get married. But things have changed. Just because you have a child doesn't mean you have to get married. It is possible to have a child and not be married. Um, it is you are able to financially support each other and not be married. So don't let anyone convince you to get married or to stay single or whatever, like the left. Oh my God, you guys, you girls, you ladies are girl bosses. You don't need no man to make you happy. Everything you can get in life, you can get it yourself because you are strong. And don't let any man hold you. And then these women get to 35 years old or so and realize that they're miserable because they believe that they don't need anyone. Now, if you don't want anyone, that's fine. Not everyone feels like it's for them. But don't let them force you into a marriage or try to let them convince you to stay out. It should be your choice. The side of my body, my choice, getting married is a choice as well. And them telling you that, oh, well, you can't succeed and you can't do this and you can't do that. If you want a career, you can't get married. You got to stay. No, look at these people telling you. You have these people in the government, you have people in Hollywood who have been married for 30, 40 years, multi-million dollars a year telling you that being married is going to hold you back. Come on. Come on. There's a little something up there in that cranium of yours. That cranium's got something very strong and powerful. Use it. Common sense should kick in and be like, well, why are they telling me this when the person telling me this is married for a long time and they make millions of dollars a year? So if you're going to get married, whether it be to a man, woman, man, man, woman, woman, consensual, of course, adults, obviously, But don't let them force you to get married, or don't let them convince you to stay single. Because oh, your job, and you won't be successful if you're held down. Most of that crap is always spewed by women who hate men. You'll have some of it by people who are married, but most of that crap is feminists who are alone telling you that you don't need a man, and they just hate men. They just hate men. And those are the dangerous ones. Because they obviously don't have your best interest at heart. Um, Talking about the movie. Again, I'm not here to talk about the movie. I've done enough to talk about the movie. At the start of the movie, rather than presenting an appropriate request and denial of marriage from Helm, it goes to Hera, who proclaims she does not want to be married to Wolf. This does not make sense in a medieval setting, for one, but it gets worse from there as she proclaims that she wants to marry no man, which can be taken in two ways. One, the marriage is bad and her feminism requires her to be unwed so she can act as a male warrior, or two, she's a lesbian presenting a disordered LGBTQ lifestyle as something heroic. Again, that I don't believe. That's being gay or being, just being queer in general. It's not evil. And again, I can say that, and your rebuttals of, that's not Christian. Like, I'm not a Christian. Sorry, doesn't work. Doesn't work. I'm not a Christian. So, um, I think it's more the feminism, because that's what they've been pushing. That's what they've been pushing the most in Hollywood, is this that you don't need no man. That women are strong and empowered and this and that. And yeah, women are strong. They can, anything they set their minds to, they can do. It just takes a little work sometimes. But them telling you that you don't need a man, or that marrying someone is going to hold you down, and it's not. People have been getting married forever. There are so many people in the government in Hollywood who are going to sit there and try to tell you not to get married because men are evil, while they're married to men, while they make millions of dollars a year. So really, do you think you should really be listening to these people? Um, let's see. I'm trying to find all the. Da, 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 da. The most what's this cringy moment, warrior man fighting and having no problem being stronger than him in combat. The most subversive element is again an attack on sacrament of marriage. I think it's more of a, we saw this with Rings of Power, how Galadriel, who is not a warrior, is able to take on several Numenorians at once. And also, she also takes on an ice troll in like 10 seconds. Ice trolls, you know how big cave trolls are? Well, ice trolls are like twice, three times that size. And she took one down in like 10 seconds. This is what they try. You see video games coming out doing this. Strong female character, able to do everything. Star Wars, you got Rey. Everything men can do, she can do better. Um, Legend of Korra, anything she can, anything men can do, she can do better. So you have this whole, for years, this push of feminism where, they're always alone. You know, they're like alone, but they're like, oh, they're badass bitches. Badass bitches doesn't mean being alone. It doesn't mean being stronger than men. It doesn't, having confidence and stuff. I've said before with like Galadriel, she's badass. She doesn't have to do anything. Her sheer presence alone gets people to their knees. That is badass. And is she gorgeous? Yes. Is she feminine? Yes. And she's not afraid to be vulnerable, to open up. These characters they make to where they're just like ice, that they don't show real emotions anymore. That's not how it works. It's okay to be badass, but also vulnerable and feminine. Like these people are telling you that it's like you can't be. It's like you basically have to be a guy, which is kind of stupid since they talk about toxic masculinity. So they're trying to make these women into men who also portray toxic masculinity traits. It's ridiculous. They have no idea what they're talking about half the time. But it's okay to be feminine. It's okay to be vulnerable, but you can also be badass. Again, having a presence that brings people to their knees just because they know how powerful you are, that's badass. Even if she was just the princess, right? If you didn't have the shield maidens and she just wanted to, like a Mulan sort of situation. Mulan, badass. Joan of Arc, badass. If it was that kind of situation where she wanted to help her kingdom, and it's like, Eowyn, it was basically what Eowyn did. You know, Theoden didn't want her fighting and this and that, and so she dressed as one of the soldiers so that she could fight. That's badass. But she was still very, very vulnerable and open. Um, so I think the movie is probably pushing more feminism than anything. Um, Beyond this, the lesbianism is further implied further when Hera kisses the shield maiden on the cheek. Oh no. This is just as bad as like the left when they see two friends and they assume that those friends have to be fucking because apparently no one can just have friends anymore. A kiss on the cheek isn't anything. It's just a sign of appreciation. It's a sign of, you can love someone, but not love someone, you know? So it's just like that. It's like just because she gave her a kiss on the cheek, that doesn't imply lesbianism. Like, are you stupid? Like, what the fuck? The only kiss in the film, right before going into his battle, when the movie ends, the woman and Hera ride off together into the sunset, further implying that they have a no. Usually a sunset or when they're riding off, it's like the start of a new journey. You have two friends who are starting a new journey together. That's the usually most of the time it symbolizes that they're going off into the sunset. What is sunset? It's the sun going down. It's closing the chapter that they're experiencing right now, and the next day will be a new chapter for them. So they're riding off into the sunset because it's the end of this moment, this episode, this day for them. And when the sun rises, it'll be different. They're not secretly lesbians. A kiss on the cheek does not mean that you're a lesbian. Okay? Or a kiss on the cheek of another female doesn't mean you're a lesbian. When you're a kid or you're a teenager and everything in high school or middle school, you've got friends, you hug them, or doesn't mean you're fucking all of them. It, it's just stupid. It's stupid. This film is a complete push of evil. Again, I don't like them saying evil because it's not evil. Again, I get that they're Christian and that's what they believe, but it's not evil. It's not evil. Are there people who in that community who do evil things? Of course, but the community itself is not evil. A dangerous message that women should not wed men and that men are crazy for wanting to have sacrament of marriage. Again, if you get married, it's your choice. Don't let someone force you into a marriage, and don't let someone convince you to stay out of a marriage. It's up to you. Don't let them make you think that, oh, if you get married, if you're a woman, and you're on the left, don't let them convince you that, oh, well, if you get married, your life is over. Your life is over. While they sit there with their children and their millions of dollars a year and their husband, do not let them convince you not to get married. Just be, oh, you won't be able to have a career. If If you're on the right, don't say, oh well, if a traditional marriage. No, it's up to you. It's up to you. You know. Moreover, Hera's wedding death shows she is indeed a member of the Hollywood cult, which worships death and gives one's soul to the devil. Oh yeah, where was that? Oh yeah, the mockery of marriage by saying she is wed to death then looks like it takes a more sinister meaning, because if she refuses marriage because it is a madness in life, wedding death implies she's given her soul to Satan and is drawing upon evil's power to best wolf at his forces. She must repent and give herself to Jesus. Get down on your knees and pray to the Lord, and he will come down and answer your prayer, and he will give you the strength you need. You need not find the strength in the devil and his dark ways, but instead the light of the Lord. Or whatever crap they preach. I don't know. I don't I don't know. I don't care. Um but yeah, stuff like that. It's not evil. Okay? It's not. You know, if you're gonna write an article and say about talking about feminism and how it ruined the movie, that's one thing. But don't come out here and say that the entire community, the entire LGBTQ plus community are evil. Again, are there people in that community who are evil? Of course. Every group of people have got evil people there. Every single group of people, every religion, every race, every this, they've got evil people. But the LGBTQ plus community overall are just like how the right feels. Just leave us alone. Just leave us alone. Let us live our lives. That is the majority of that community. They just want to be left alone to live their lives. They're not out there, oh my God, look at me. My pronouns are this, that, and look at me flopping my cock at a pride parade. Hey. No. Most of them don't give a flip about it, and they just want to live their lives. So to say that it's evil or, again, if you wanted to make it and say about feminism, that's one thing. But to say that the community is evil and just no, it's not. It's not. Look at Christians. Christians have a higher radical side to them. Okay, so every group has evil people. And I know the people who follow me, who have followed me for a while, know exactly how I feel, because I've talked about this stuff at one point or another. They know that I'm not really on the left, I'm not on the right, I'm kind of in the center. I get people coming out, oh, that was based AF, as the kids say these days. So if you're new and you think that like I'm this hardcore Christian, surprise, I'm not. I'm not. But that also goes to the same side. Don't subscribe to me thinking that like I have these super liberal views, because surprise, I don't. I will bash the hell out of feminism and that community all day long when they try to push certain things. So surprise. But yeah, it's not evil. Kissing a girl on the cheek, a woman kissing a woman on that doesn't make them gay. Okay? I think the movie was more about the whole feminism part. Again, they took a character that didn't have any name, she didn't have a name. She had nothing to do in the actual story itself. And instead, they made her like an Eowyn type character. She's leading this group of handmaidens, all women, and basically leading her father's people to victory. Clearly, it's feminism. So, I mean, I hope you didn't. The person who wrote it, hope you didn't have to do hurt your back or with your your neck with all those mental gymnastics you had to do, trying to convince yourself that it somehow had LGBTQ plus messaging. It was feminism. That's what's been killing stories with the females. Feminism. So, but again, surprise. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.